your boy Big Will back. Another video. If you haven't already done it, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button for these videos. You know, bring the content that you're looking for, you're listening to. Ring that bell so you get the notifications when we make a video and I start going live. So it's a little story. It's a lot of conflict. People always say, like, are there really rapes in jail? And the answer is yes. My daughter is in college. She is a freshman this year. She'll be going sophomore next year. But her major is criminal justice. She's taking, and she did a study about it. And you know, she said she asked me, if there was really rapes in jail, and I told her, well, absolutely, there really is. And she asked me, what do I think? Who's it mostly by? And I told her, I said, you'll get the inmate who's always, if there's a female officer on, you always get these inmates that they take their shirts off, and when she walks by, they'll make noises, or they'll you see guys that get DRs for gunning, they call it, which is when a female's coming around at nighttime or something for count, because they're supposed to announce themselves, female on the unit, and but if it's late at night and people are sleeping, they don't come in and announce female on the unit. If it's early morning, they don't do it. Sometimes there's guys that are up, they stay up all night, and they'll get to masturbating when they know it's a female coming around. They'll be smacking their shit, and the chick will come by for a count and hit you with a flashlight and catch you. You know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10 times she'll tell you, stop. And, she's going to come back for a count in 15 minutes or whatever. You better have that shit put away. And there's guys that'll get up, they'll sit on a bed and, hit their shit and then look like a fucking savage and, gun, look at the officer, the female officer. So they'll hit her with a disciplinary report, if a lot of you don't know what DR means, but they'll hit them with a DR report, and they'll get locked down for 3 days. They'll have to go before the hearing board, and they'll take it from there, to see if they're gonna pursue it, or see if they're gonna give them any lockdown time, or if they're gonna let them go, or blah blah blah, so but then this one I can't really answer because I haven't been in there, but I'm assuming that when there's a male officer in a female unit, it's the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Chicks go at each other, and there's actually more lesbian action from the females when they go to jail than there is man on man, you know what I'm saying, or men getting raped. There's actually more the females, just they go with each other, you know what I'm saying. You never hear about any rapes in a female thing. And I'm sure there's situations where you get a male guard and he might pull a female, that's been that's being locked up because there's been incidents where they've gotten pregnant and shit like that, and things like that. So that shit does happen. But the man on man cellmate, inmate to inmate unit. I won't say cellmate, but sometimes it happens in a cellmate, which is the story I'm getting to. But a lot of times it'll be, you'll see a fucking predator, or they call them chicken hawkers, is what they call them. You'll see the chicken hawk when they got new inmates coming in. They sit on a chair and they watch, to see if it's a young kid coming in, or they see if it's a a kid that they've had in the past or shit like that, a young guy. They can tell a kid that's in there, he's timid, young, 18 years old, 17 years old, scared to death. You can just tell the way they carry themselves, Someone like myself who's, 6 feet tall, 265 pounds, they're not looking to say, geez, I'm going to, tussle with this guy in the shower, try and put in his ass, Don't happen like that. But, in the showers where they want to, they'll go in and you get the booty bandits, they call them, or chicken hawkers. They'll, you can tell when they walk into the shower and they're staring at people. You know what I'm saying? Again, someone like me is, bound to say, what the fuck are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? Or someone who's, who works out or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But, don't get me wrong. There are some, big, dudes that have been locked for 15, 20 years, lifers, that are jacked, that are about that life, and they're into that shit, you know what I'm saying? And they don't care, they'll try anybody. But, so yeah, there is, and then, they'll hit you, they'll see a new kid come in, and, they'll wait till they get to the shower, and, you're trying to mind your business, you know what I'm saying? If it's not about you, if someone's not fucking with you, it's not your business, you know what I'm saying? If something is happening between someone who looks like they're not being taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? I was the type of guy where when I went in, there was a young kid in my unit. He was on the bottom tier, and he was a young white kid, very timid, scared. And our own kind of white guys were extorting from him. To make it worse, we're all from the same city. You know what I'm saying? And that made me irate, because the kid would share his shit. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't have it, he'd give you coffee, or he'd give you a soup. The kid had money and stuff, so he would buy people shit. But they would still, when his bag would come in, they would, go right to a cell and take it. They were called crazy white boys or something, and they were taking it from a young kid. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like it. And like I said, one of the probably 2 or 3 of them, the gang members, they were all from my city. Now I knew them, they knew me. I don't gang bang at all. I don't gang bang. I don't get into the politics. But when you go, when you go up the way, if you're not in the gang, it's usually color-wise, or it's area-wise, you know what I'm saying? If you're all from the same city, then colors, blah, blah, blah. So, so I took the kid stuff and I put it in my cell, and, I had an announcement, kid shit's here. Anybody wants to come take it, try it, it's here. If you can have it, if you can get it, you can have it, but what you gotta do is ask me to open the cell. I'll crack it and you can come in, but dudes know me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about that life. I'll throw a fade with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the streets, you know what I'm saying? So, shit like that. You don't like to see somebody being taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? But, again, other shit, shit's going on. You try and mind your business. People have to, when you go to jail, you have to stand up for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Be accountable, because when you was out on the streets doing that shit, you were man enough to do it out there. You got to be a man enough to protect yourself inside, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I understand if you're timid and stuff, but you got to learn to fight for yourself, But story I was getting to was, I was on the bottom bunk. I was on bottom tier. This is probably 2009, and I was on a detainer. I was on a hold for parole violation, and I caught another charge while I was out. You know what I'm saying? Most of my charges for dealing drugs, some how do you want to call it? Uh, some fighting, shit like that. But most of it was drugs. You know what I'm saying? Selling drugs. I was made a lot of money out there. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm in there on a detainer for a parole violation, and I'm on a hold. And I come in, and probably for a day or two, probably around 8 o'clock at night, we can hear this, like, no, please, no. And then you hear a thump, 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 and you can hear like the sound of, like someone getting hit, just one person though, not a fight, you know what I'm saying? You could tell he's being manhandled, you know what I'm saying? And, you see the kid come out of his cell a day, and, so it looks like what we all thought was happening was we thought that the guy was in there forcing the kid to, take his food, but he was just slapping him around, because the kid was, and it happened to be a gang member. He was a GD, and the kid was just a young white kid, very timid, scared to death, you know what I'm saying? And, so he come out one day and he had a mark on his face, and dude's asking me what happened, I heard you in there, and he's like, nothing, I don't want to talk about it. A couple of days you hear it, and, so dude's like, listen, man, this shit's every night, what's going on, and kid finally says one night, my cellmate forced me to, give him oral sex, and, dude's like, nah, fuck that shit, you know what I'm saying, because now you can hear the kids fighting, and, he won't get off the door, you know what I'm saying, on lockdown and shit. He won't get off the door. He's standing there in the window all the time because he's always looking for someone to come by, or, scared to go to his bunk because he's scared what's going to happen. So, probably about the third or fourth day in, I guess this gang member had, he had one of the runners, one of the tier runners, their workers. He asked them for the broom and dustpan and shit, So the guards cracked their door a little bit. He hands them the thing. I'm going to clean my cell when I get it back. When I'm done, I'll get it back to you. So, probably 15, 20 minutes later, you hear this kid screaming, no, please stop. Just like screaming at the top of his lungs. No, stop. You can hear the guy's muffling, holding his mouth, and shut the fuck up. And he's hitting him. Well, he ended up raping the kid, and he jammed the broomstick so far in the kid's ass that the kid had to be rushed to the hospital, and he had surgery where he was on a shit bag for months, and he got taken out of there and blah blah blah. So the unit's like, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy. So this young kid goes to the hospital. The guards got him out. The other kid's in his cell on a lockdown, because it was over a holiday weekend or something. So the other kid was in his cell on a lockdown, waiting to see the D board on Monday. And everybody was irate. Everybody, white guys, other black guys, other gang members. So, what ends up happening is, you get a couple of, dudes that, knew the guards, and they set it up to where the guards were gonna, accidentally hit all the buzzers. So all the doors would pop, And, probably about 30 of us come running in from the top tier, bottom tier. We had, lock boxes at the time, and you would have a lock on it, and other people were putting bar of soap in their sock, and people in there with broomsticks, and like we gave this gang member a fucking dirty one. Like he had to be med flighted out of there, and he got a dirty one for what he did to that kid, and it just goes to show you, that like, yeah, shit will happen, and when you're new to the prison life, everybody sleeps with their eye. You learn to sleep lightly, because if you're one of them heavy sleepers, you get cell thieves. You could be your own cellmate. If you're a heavy sleeper or you take night meds and you go out, they'll fuck with your box or shit like that, or they might fuck with you, or, they're having stories of guys taking their meds and waking up, feeling like they've been raped and have no idea what's going on, because they're on meds and shit, but the shit does happen, and it's not to be taken lightly. It's not as bad as it used to be. Years ago, people would get raped more often, but ever since they come up with the PREA Act, a lot of shit has changed, and but it still does happen, and the message is for you kids, listen, if you're not ready for jail life, don't act like you are. Don't act like you can, because you go out on the streets and you run your mouth on the streets, and then you go sit in the house and lock the door and people don't see you and shit like that for months. Or when you're in jail, there's nowhere to run. You pop off of your mouth at somebody, you're gonna come out at chow or wreck or something, and shit gets handled. It's not like you get shitty with someone and then you never see them for months or years, even living in the same city. You know what I'm saying? You just go through this person or that person, or you argue on the phone and shit like that. In jail is nowhere to go. And people get poked up. They get sliced. I've seen somebody get poked up. They do it with a pencil. They'll do it with a pencil if they can't find a shank. The razors are cheap, but they do work, and they'll cut you up. They'll slice you up from your face. You fucking, it's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight, but it does happen. So if you kids that think, oh, they're only stories, people don't get raped in jail. You do, so before you cross that line and think about what you're doing, think about your consequences, think about your future, because you might go to jail, get raped, and end up killing someone or stabbing someone and they die, and now you're stuck there for the rest of your life, or a simple breaking and entering or something, you know what I mean, where you're there for a 3-month stay, and something crazy happens and you're there for the rest of your life, keep your head on your shoulders, and think before you act, But again, it's your boy Big Will. Life after prison, you know what it is. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you're already a member, thanks for rocking. Share the video. Let's get the message out there. And if you're not a follower, hit that button. It's free. Hit that subscribe button. And again, peace. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.